You were born into a war. Not a war of nations or ideologies, but a silent war that claws at the soul of every man. A war of becoming. The world will not tell you this. It will cradle you in distractions, sedate you with comfort, pacify you with promises of equality and fairness. But beneath its smiling mask lies a savage truth. You are either predator or prey, ruler or ruled. The ones who whisper of peace are often those too weak to endure battle. They seek to soften your instincts, to dull your edges, to castrate your will, because they fear what you might become if you ever remembered what you truly are. You are not here to obey. You are not here to blend. You are here to rise, and for that, you must awaken. So focus on you, cut the noise, starve the distractions, because the world is not built to elevate you. It is designed to break you, to test your resolve, to feast on your hesitation. Every time you delay your transformation, the world wins. Every time you choose comfort over discipline, weakness over will, you offer yourself as a sacrifice to mediocrity. But the moment you turn inward, the moment you sharpen yourself with brutal honesty, the game changes. You cease to be a pawn on someone else's board. You begin to carve your own path, a path lined not with applause but with blood. This is not self-help. This is self-overcoming. This is not motivation. This is metamorphosis. Life is not fair, and it was never meant to be. Fairness is a story told to tame. Lions into lapdogs. The universe respects power, not pity. The winds obey no pleas, the mountains move for no prayers. If you wait for justice, you will rot in chains built by your own passivity. The strong write the rules, the weak recite them like scripture. You must unlearn the morality of slaves, the belief that your goodness will be rewarded, that your suffering will be noticed, that your silence will be honored. It won't. The world devours the gentle and spits out their names. Kindness. Without strength is not virtue, it is vulnerability. Stop confusing fragility with nobility. There is no dignity in being devoured. Do not trust the smiles. Behind every handshake, there is a calculation. Behind every compliment, a potential weapon. To walk through this world believing others have your best interest is not kindness. It is suicide. Wake up. You are surrounded by men who would stab you in the back the moment your guard drops. They are not evil. They are not villains. They are just playing the game that you refuse to see. You must learn to play it better. Forge your instincts into armor. Harden your gaze. Learn to see motives like shadows on the wall. The man who sees too little dies blind. But the man who sees too much and does nothing, he dies a coward. Choose neither. See clearly, act precisely, and strike only when it serves your rise. Control begins with silence. The man who speaks too much leaks his power. Every opinion shared, every emotion revealed, is a thread someone else can pull. But the man who learns to watch, to listen, to let others speak first, that man builds a fortress around his intentions. The world cannot strike what it cannot see. The loud are predictable, the silent are dangerous. You must become unreadable, unknowable, a shadow dressed in flesh. Let others underestimate you. Let them grow comfortable. Then, when the time comes, tear through their illusions with the precision of a blade. Strike once, strike deep, and disappear. That is the strategy of kings. You must kill the child within you, the one who seeks approval, who waits to be chosen, who dreams of being loved for simply existing. No one is coming to save you. The sooner you bury that delusion, the sooner you rise. Replace it with something fierce. Replace it with discipline so ruthless that it silences every excuse, every weakness, every cry for comfort. The man who builds himself in silence becomes unstoppable. He needs no cheerleaders. He needs no applause. He needs only a mission and the resolve to suffer for it. Because make no mistake, this path is suffering. It is isolation. It is blood in the mouth and fire in the eyes. But it is also freedom, the rarest kind, the kind no man can take. They will call you cold, let them. They will call you ruthless, wear it like armor. They will whisper that you've changed, that you've lost your heart, and they will be right. You've traded it for something greater, for clarity, for strength, for sovereignty. The herd cannot understand the lone wolf. They call isolation insanity because they fear being left with only themselves. But you must embrace that silence, that solitude, It is there that your real self is forged, far from the noise of approval and the warmth of mediocrity. It is there in the cold that kings are born, not in comfort, in conquest. Do not be fooled by modern man. He may wear a suit, carry a phone, speak of peace and cooperation. But beneath the surface, the war rages on, the war for influence, for power, for position. Every glance is a measurement, every conversation a negotiation. Civilization has not abolished the jungle, it has only dressed it in manners. The hunter still exists, and so does the prey. So ask yourself now, brutally and without mercy, which are you becoming? Are you sharpening your claws or softening your spine? Are you moving with purpose or drifting with the current? Because time will answer for you if you refuse to answer for yourself. Master yourself or be mastered. There is no in-between. A man who cannot command his own impulses is not free, he is a puppet. His strings are pulled by lust, by fear, by vanity, by hunger for validation. And the world knows this. It knows how to dangle the pleasures that make him dance. Most men are not defeated by others. They are defeated by themselves. They sabotage their own rise with excuses, with distraction, with softness. You must become the exception. You must kill the part of you that begs for ease. You must crush the voice that tells you to wait, to rest, to postpone. The battlefield is your mind, and your enemy lives inside your skull. The disciplined man is not moved by moods. He does not wait to feel ready. He acts because his mission demands it. He does not seek balance, he creates order. He rises before the sun. He trains when others sleep. He reads when others rot in entertainment. He does not need motivation because he is possessed by purpose. That purpose is a storm behind his eyes, and when he walks into a room, it walks in with him. Discipline is the highest form of self-respect. The man who practices it daily becomes a weapon the world cannot dull. While others search for comfort, he sharpens himself into a blade. And when the time comes, he does not hesitate and he cuts. Most will mock you before they fear you. They will call your silence arrogance, your discipline obsession, your detachment cruelty. Let them. They are speaking from the ground while you are building your throne. Their laughter is not proof of your failure. It is confirmation of your path. The higher you climb, the lonelier it becomes, not because you reject others, but because they cannot breathe where you are going. Mediocrity is a crowd. Greatness is a summit, and the summit does not accommodate everyone. Do not slow your pace to keep company with those who have stopped walking. Let them fall away. Let them talk. You are not here to be understood. You are here to become undeniable. Control is the root of all power. Control over your time, control over your focus, control over your words, control over your emotions. You must become your own master before you ever attempt to lead others. This is the law. No empire was ever built by a man who couldn't get out of bed. No legend was ever born from comfort. The one who controls himself becomes a fortress. You cannot bribe him, seduce him, or threaten him because he has killed everything inside him. That could be used against him. And in a world where men crumble at the slightest discomfort, the one who stands unshaken becomes something else entirely, not merely a man, a force. Emotions are tools, not rulers. Anger, fear, desire. These are not weaknesses unless you let them drive. You must learn to ride the storm without being swept away. The man who rages at every insult, who trembles at every risk, who chases every flash of pleasure is not alive. He is enslaved, and he will be destroyed by those who know how to trigger him. But the one who sits still while the world burns, who chooses response over reaction, becomes a terror to his enemies. Because nothing is more unnerving than a man who should break, but doesn't. His calmness becomes a weapon, his indifference becomes pressure, and in that silence, he conquers. Every time you restrain your outburst, every time you act with intent instead of impulse, you sharpen your edge. You are not here to be emotionally honest. You are here to be effective, cold when necessary, warm when strategic, always composed. Because once your emotions are yours to command, so too is your destiny. Most men will never know this power. They are too eager to vent, too desperate to be seen, too fragile to hold their own fire. Let them burn themselves out. You must become the storm contained, the volcano that rumbles but does not erupt until the moment it obliterates. That is emotional sovereignty. That is true danger. Fear and respect. These are the twin pillars of power. Love may be sweet, but it is soft, it fades, it betrays. But fear endures. Respect binds. Together, they build an empire. You must not seek to be liked. The man who seeks applause will sell his soul for claps. He becomes a clown in his own court. But the man who demands respect through presence, who enforces fear through consequence, he becomes a sovereign. Let your silence speak louder than compliments. Let your standards be the blade that cuts. Through false loyalty. The one who commands fear and respect does not chase obedience, it follows him. But this is not a call to cruelty, this is a call to clarity, to precision. Fear without competence is tyranny. Respect without strength is empty. You must be both feared and admired, unpredictable and stable. Enforce your boundaries like laws carved in stone. Reward loyalty, but never depend on it. Withhold validation, not to wound, but to awaken hunger. When everyone begs to be seen, be the one who chooses where to look. And in that gaze, give meaning. Because the man who controls attention controls perception. And perception, my friend, is the battlefield before the battle begins. The war begins in the mind, before swords clash, before strategies unfold, before words are spoken. The true battlefield is internal. If you can plant doubt, if you can bend perception, you win before the fight starts. This is psychological warfare, the most efficient form of domination. You don't need to strike if they paralyze themselves with uncertainty. Walk like a storm they cannot predict. Speak like a riddle they cannot solve. Be the man whose calm unsettles, whose silence screams, whose gaze disassembles the courage of those who dare oppose him. When your presence alone causes hesitation, you have already conquered. Frame the reality. Control the narrative. Never argue on another man's terms. Rewrite the rules in your favor. If he fights small, dominate large. If he acts with emotion, respond with cold calculation. Force him into your world, and then burn the exits. Intimidation is not noise, it is presence. It is the pause that breaks another man's rhythm, the subtle smile that hides intent, the unpredictability that infects his thoughts. This is not manipulation, it is mastery. And the one who masters minds does not need to lift a finger. He lets his enemies destroy themselves from within, one doubt at a time. Scarcity is power. In a world drunk on access, be the one who vanishes. The man who is always seen, always heard, always reachable, becomes common, and the common is never feared. You must train the world to hunger for your presence. Withdraw to build mystery. Appear only when impact is guaranteed. Your absence should echo louder than another man's words. Let them wonder where you are. Let them feel the gap you leave. That void becomes leverage. Scarcity breeds curiosity. Curiosity breeds desire. And desire, if directed by your hand, becomes control. Do not be everywhere. Be irreplaceable. You must also master the art of selective revelation. Speak less than necessary. Every word should cut. Every sentence should land like a strike. In conflict, let the other man overexpose himself. Let him talk, explain, justify. You wait, you watch. Then when his armor cracks, when his emotions rise, strike with precision. A well-placed silence can break confidence faster than 1,000 arguments. Remember, the most feared warriors are not the ones who roar. They are the ones who stare, silent and unshaken, revealing nothing. Because in silence, you let others destroy themselves. You simply collect the pieces. Discipline is your crown. Not talent, not luck, not inspiration. Discipline, relentless, ruthless daily action, is what separates rulers from the ruled. You must become the executor of your own evolution. Rise before the weak even open their eyes. Train when others make excuses. Work while they dream. Read while they rot. You are not here for pleasure. You are here for power. And power is earned in the shadows, in the repetition, in the sacrifice. Discipline is not about feelings. It is about decision. It is about bleeding now so you never bow later. It is about dying to your weakness so your strength may live. Your habits will determine your empire. Every hour wasted is a betrayal. Every indulgence is a payment to your own failure. And yet, the masses cling to comfort like it will save them. It won't. It will bury them. The disciplined man knows that pain is currency, and he invests it. He turns suffering into sharpness, boredom into mastery, exhaustion into proof. There are no shortcuts. There is no cheat code. There is only the grind. But that grind, done daily, creates a man the world cannot predict, cannot match, cannot deny. He becomes inevitability. He becomes the storm that was forged in stillness. The world does not care how hard you try. It only respects results. And results are born from ruthless discipline. Not the kind that performs for attention, the kind that performs in silence. The man who trains alone, studies alone, sacrifices in secret, he becomes the one they later call lucky. But luck is the lie the lazy tell themselves to explain away their mediocrity. Do not aim to be understood. Aim to be undeniable. Let your results make them doubt their own choices. Let your rise expose their comfort. You owe them no explanation. You owe yourself domination. This is why your discipline must turn into identity. You don't try to stay focused. You are the man who is focused. You don't attempt to resist weakness. You are the man who destroys it. Discipline is no longer a chore. It is who you are. And when that switch happens, nothing can stop you. You no longer need motivation. You have become momentum. The man who embodies discipline becomes a machine of will, a force so consistent that even chaos must yield. He does not wait for permission. He does not ask for guidance. He decides, and reality bends. The essence of power is control. Not just control over your habits or your time, but over the way others respond to you. And there are only two forces that make people move: fear and respect. If you are loved but not respected, you will be taken for granted. If you are feared but not respected, you will be overthrown. But when both fear and respect surround you like armor, no one dares test you. Your silence becomes command. Your gaze becomes instruction. Your presence becomes law. This is not about tyranny, it is about clarity. You are not here to be liked. You are here to be obeyed, but respect must be earned. You gain it through competence, consistency, and control. Be excellent at what you do. Become so good that even your enemies admire you. Speak little, act relentlessly, and let your results echo louder than your voice. And fear, you don't create it through threats. You create it by being unpredictable. Let others never quite know how you will respond. Keep your punishment selective, sudden, and strategic. Be generous when it serves your throne. Be merciless when it protects it. Because the man who balances fear with respect becomes untouchable. He becomes sovereign. Adaptation is the mark of a true ruler. Rigidity is the death of empires, the downfall of giants. The man who cannot pivot, who clings to old methods, who resists the wind, is already rotting. Look to history, and you'll see it. The empires that thought themselves eternal crumbled into dust. Not from invasion, but from stagnation. You must be the opposite. You must be water, formless, fluid, fierce. Adaptation is not weakness. It is domination by transformation. You do not abandon your mission. You alter your methods. You shift to conquer. You evolve to remain unbreakable. To adapt is to shed what no longer serves you, and this requires ruthlessness. Cut ties, burn outdated strategies, kill the parts of you that keep you tethered to mediocrity. The world punishes hesitation. It rewards precision. Read the shifts before they come. Move before the masses. Strike before the opportunity disappears. Let go of the comfort of familiarity and embrace the sharpness of evolution. The snake that sheds its skin does not mourn as it hunts. So must you. Do not let anyone define you. Wear 1,000 faces. Play 1,000 roles. But always remain loyal to one thing: your rise. Greatness demands isolation. Not forever, but in the beginning always. The path to power is narrow, steep, and carved by silence. The masses will never understand this. They crave noise, approval, company. But the elite, they walk alone. Not because they hate others, but because few can survive the altitude. You must detach, you must distance. You must build in solitude while others gossip in groups. Because in that isolation, your voice becomes clear. Your mind sharpens. Your will hardens. You stop needing and start becoming. And when you return from the mountain, you return as something they cannot name. This loneliness is not punishment. It is purification. It burns away the distractions, the weak connections, the false loyalties. Friends will fall away. Family will question you. Lovers will leave, let them. Their exit is the price of your evolution. And in their place, new allies will come, forged not in comfort, but in purpose. Isolation is the crucible, the test, the purge, and only the few who endure it rise above. Do not fear being alone, fear being ordinary, because only those who walk alone in the beginning are crowned in the end. Let them laugh now. You will be the one they kneel to later. Dominate or be dominated. This is not a slogan. It is the final law. The world is not built for fairness. It is not built for peace. It is a hierarchy, a battlefield, a constant storm of wills colliding. And if you do not impose your will, someone else will impose theirs on you. There is no neutral ground, no safety in indecision. Every man you meet is either climbing, falling, or being crushed. You must choose, and if you do not, the choice will be made for you. You don't need a throne to dominate. You need control over yourself, your space, your time, your destiny. Begin with the self. Dominate your habits. Dominate your emotions. Dominate your inner chaos. If you can command yourself, you can command anything. Then shape your world. Mold your environment into a weapon. Remove distractions. Reject weakness. Enforce discipline like a warlord. And when necessary, dominate others. Not through cruelty, but through strength, clarity, and strategy. Lead, decide, strike. Let your presence impose order. Let your silence carry authority. The man who refuses to be dominated becomes untouchable, not because the world became easier, but because he became inevitable. Your rise will not be applauded. It will be resisted, misunderstood, feared. They will call you cold, ruthless, heartless. Let them. Their noise is confirmation that you no longer walk among them. You are not here for their comfort. You are here for conquest. They will ask who you think you are. Show them with silence. Show them with results. Your life is the answer. Because when domination becomes your default, when power radiates from your every move, when your name carries weight before you enter the room, then you have become what they were too afraid to become. So now I ask you, are you ready? Are you ready to rise? Alone to suffer in silence, to train in darkness, to strike without warning? Are you ready to bend reality, to master yourself, to own your throne? If so, then say it, write it, live it. I refuse to be dominated. I will dominate. Let that be the law carved into your soul. Because from this moment on, your path is not theirs, your life is not theirs. You are not one of them. You are the storm they pretend isn't coming. You are the future they will be forced to obey. Focus on you until you win, and then never stop.